trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Always looking for more. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted.
And welcome everybody here to preseason testing for Season 6 of the NNSCRA Duracell Cup Series. As promised, next place we would be doing the preseason testing at was going to be Nashville Super Speedway. Going to be hanging out here for about a half hour. Appreciate everybody tuning in as testing a couple of these racetracks here, seeing how good they are and whether or not they're going to be deserving a spot, if not already having a spot, a more prominent spot on the Duracell Cup Series schedule. Eric Sadler, thank you for tuning in. Unfortunately, the signups are already closed for this series. I am, however, considering possibly, but I'm not 100% yet certain about this, possibly having a couple of more rides available for Daytona 500 weekend, but I'm still thinking about that one. That's not official yet. We had our last testing session at the Charlotte Roval. Our next testing session will be at another road course. It's going to be at Chatham. Trying to find some decent road courses for the schedule. Is some of the road courses we were at last season were good. Other ones were kind of, why did we go here? Looks like we got some lap times popping in on the board, so we'll have those scrolling up on the top of the screen. The Super Speedway series that I made. Oh, was that the Skittle Super Speedway series? Yeah. Who knows? I might bring that back at some point. That was a good series. The big problem was back with that series, there were, what, 3 divisions, I think? I don't know what it is, but it seems like in the last couple of years, I don't know if N2003 has reached a decline in terms of people that tune into or sign up for offline races, but it was 2 divisions. Okay, yeah, so, I mean, you consider back at that point, there would have been about 80 drivers that would have been signed up. It's kind of been difficult for myself and I think a couple of other of the old school YouTubers. Well, I won't call them old school, but like that did this back in the 2010s. You know, signups, they'd be done. They'd be over with in the like first 15-20 minutes. Now you do signups, and even if you've got like 15-20 rides open, it sometimes can take a couple of days. Yeah, I mean, if I ever like bring a series like that back, I will definitely put out like a notification video or something so people are aware of when those signups would be. It's probably going to be quite a bit in the future though, because as of right now, time is like super limited. A lot of different projects that go on outside of Air 2003. Can't really dedicate as much time to Air 2003 offline as I used to, so unfortunately, life changes. But yeah, I will notify people if something like that ends up having a possibility of coming back. So, one thing that I've been working on, slowly but surely, not 100% done with it yet because I'm going to be doing some, like, special effects and stuff with it, is the new intro. It's going to be taking a little bit of the old intro from, seasons 3 to season 3, season 5, something like that. And I'm going to be, it's going to be like an entirely different one, because obviously with the next gen cars, we're going into the next generation of Duracell Cup Series competition. So I wanted to make something slightly different, but it does take some time to go and get all the clips and everything, find the right music to go with it, do all the editing, so it's in progress. But once that's done, we should be getting pretty close to starting the season. Graphics and stuff have already been put together for the most part. The paint schemes have been put together. There's a couple of secondary schemes that might still need to be made, but things are, while it may seem like nothing's being done behind the scenes right now, you know, quite a huge gap between when the signups went up and even these preseason testing broadcasts, there is stuff that is in the works going on behind the scenes that is taking place. Also, almost have the schedule compiled for next season. Some different tracks are going to be moved around. There are some tracks that are not returning on the schedule. Charlotte Roval testing session, there were a couple of spots of the racetrack that I'm a little bit concerned about, but for the most part, compared to how the Roval's been in the past, I was kind of impressed with that version. In these cars, the couple of areas I'm a little bit concerned about was when they would hit the wall coming up back onto the speedway section just before NASCAR turn 1. I think that's turn 7 if I'm not mistaken, on the Roval section. And then we didn't go back and look at it, but there was a flip. Somebody flipped over at the exit of the backstretch chicane. I don't know who it was, but and I don't know exactly what led to it, but that's kind of concerning too. Which is why we're going to be trying out Chatham for the next testing session. But I figured as well, while I got the opportunity and people are tuned in here, you know, is there any track out there that people can think of where there's actually good racing that has not made an appearance on a Duracell Cup Series schedule that you would like to see maybe have a shot of being on the schedule for Season 6? I mean, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Maybe featured in a preseason testing session. Who knows? I got the wrong screen up here. Give me 1 second. It's going to freeze for a moment. I wanted to bring up the timing and scoring page that I've got, and I had it on the wrong tab. Yeah, I was actually, this is the first broadcasted testing session here for Nashville Superspeedway, but I did a little bit of observation, if you will, with these cars at this racetrack prior. And I really think this is definitely going to be a track that's going to be on the schedule in a prominent area just because there's actual multi-groove racing. Not sure if we're really seeing it right now. Maybe the track conditions are different from the testing session I was looking at, but they were actually passing on the inside over in 1 and 2, and then they would pass on the outside over in 3 and 4, and I thought that was pretty cool. Like here you see right there, teammates there, Jesse Turner to the inside of Benjamin Snyder, and Snyder was able to hold the position on the outside line. But then they get down here into 3 and 4. Snyder way up the racetrack. Turner's able to get a nice rotation through the center, and he closes up the gap. And look at that momentum that Snyder then gets on the top side, he can then take it to the inside of Anthony McCurry. So I thought that was actually really, really good. The fact that the grip levels of this track particularly are going to lead to some multi-groove racing. Hopefully to some lead changes as well. Hopefully it won't be an all track position type racetrack, but won't know that until we get all the race cars out there and onto the track. There's a pack of cars. Got the teammates there. 89 Quentin Moore, 70 of James Qualls. And you got the Chevrolet of Reggie Fogelman and the Toyota of Ryan Brommer. A lot of drivers this season that'll be battling for the Rookie of the Year honors. Interesting to see who everybody's going to have as their potential favorite to win that Rookie of the Year title. Got a couple of unknowns. They're actually up here towards the top of the board. You got Jack Dunnard, you got Destin Bolin, Reese Banks. Quentin Moore is a well-known name here in the 2003 community, but we have yet to see him in a Duracell Cup Series car. Reggie Fogelman we just saw there in the 24, a former winner here in Duracell Cup competition, but didn't make enough starts based on the fact he only ran a third of the season last year, so he is still eligible for the Rookie of the Year contendership. Will Hoer, Samuel Ryder, Noah Hendrickson. These are other drivers that are in Rookie of the Year battle. Rick Johnson from the 93. Rick Johnson, Jovan Anderson, another big name that we know in this community, but up until this season, never been in a Duracell Cup Series car, and we might have a wreck here. Ooh. Daniel Voiles, Michael Norman, getting a little close there through that corner, and look at him stack up there. It's Levi McIntyre way up the track. Rob Evans in the middle, Kyle Matthews, one half of the co-defending champions, the 09. Benjamin Miles is top of the board. If I recall correctly, he was up pretty close to the top of the board at the Charlotte Roval. So could Benjamin maybe be one of the favorites when the season starts? Season, of course, is going to start at Daytona. I'm seriously looking into trying to find a decent Daytona track because the last couple of seasons we've had, it's not been horrible racing, but it's not been a typical Daytona racing. They'll race double wide, then the pit stops take place, and it's so spread out, we don't really even have any potential for a caution. You don't want to have it super spread out when it's super speedway racing. It's not why people tune in. It's a fun pack to watch. Kyle Matthews was on the inside line a couple of laps ago. Now you see he's migrated up to the top, and he's working his way to the front of this pack. So while we don't have all 42 cars in this group, we've got a pack of, what, 8, 9 drivers. So this is giving you an idea of the type of racing we would end up seeing once the green flag drops. Matthews coming to pit road. There's Miles. Didn't even see that he was actually in this pack. 30.677. Oh, we're going 4 wide. Yeah, let's test 4 wide. Why not? Looks like the inside line car backs out of that one. Really shallow entry into turn 1. Not going to make the corner if you're going to try and keep that 4 wide situation going. Smart veteran move there by Benjamin Miles. And Miles is coming to pit road. See if there's any other packs here. Dustin Bolin, Jose Mills, Jessica Shelton. Little 3-car pack right there. Ooh, here's a big group. Actually catching a group up ahead of them too. Cody Lamas. Not running the generic testing scheme. We saw him run at the Roval. Florida Panthers on his single car entry. The Chevrolet out of Llama Racing. Hey Keith, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Gonna have some new graphics for this season as well. Gonna be pre-race showing what the current playoff grid looks like. Might do one for rookie points, I'm not certain yet. Trying to come up with some stuff that'll add to the broadcast. Still at this point considering whether or not I'm going to be doing the broadcasts live or if I'm going to pre-record them and then put them up as a premiere like I did last season. I mean, last season we actually started out doing them live and then game crashes right in the middle of it or something like that was kind of making it, why are we bothering to do this? It's not working. Let's do with something, let's actually give the people that tune in a program that they can actually see without all the technical failures. So, not certain if it's going to be happening live or not. I'm also thinking about maybe having a commentary team, but that's still in the works as well. When I do end up getting the intro done, the opening intro, I'll be uploading that separately and then probably putting like a start date for the series in that promo so you'll know when exactly the series is going to begin. Not certain if it's going to be starting this year or next year. That's something I'm going to have to figure out as well with a couple of things left to do. The Motorcraft scheme right now, I've got 2 lists, primary and the secondaries, and I ended up loading this up with the primary list, so it's still the Motorcraft 39 car. Love the fact that these cars go up above that dark gray, and they don't lose as much momentum as one would think. There is still a little bit of grip up there, and they don't slide right up to the wall either. I don't know what the tire wear is for these drivers, for the AI, but I just love the multi-groove racing. Inside line works, outside line works, extreme outside line works. Look right there, I see how Laura Chung on the inside was able to keep the exact same pace as Cody Lamas. Now Cody gets that advantage off the corner. Oh, safety clean is the primary. Well, I'll have to change that once this goes off the air then, my bad. It's not the car to be looking at when I'm hungry. Oh, someone blew up. Dylan Poteet. Tweenix Racing engine going south. Twinix Racing getting a lot of its equipment and whatnot. Technical alliance with Michael Norman Motorsports. Looks like they'll be asking for a refund on that engine. OT third on the board right now too with a 30.832, so fast car, but maybe too fast. Engine says nope, so he'll have to come down, get a replacement engine, get back out there. Interesting when you see the kind of split in the top 10. You got 5 rookies and you got 5 veterans, including Kyle Matthews, defending champion. Nick Gunther, who was a former winner last season at Bristol Dirt in that Mazda experiment this season for Fortnite Squad Racing. He's 7th on the board. We already talked about Miles. He still sits in P1. Dylan Young's also up there, and Cody Lamas. Really haven't seen Dylan Young in a pack. Maybe he's found a pack recently, but he was kind of by himself, and the last time I saw him, he was on pit road. Let's see if we can find the 2. Where is he at? Ryan, what you're running by is lonesome. There's Dylan. He found his way into a group. Got quite a number of Fords here in this pack. Turner, Daniel Boyles, who might be pitting. Levi McIntyre, Nathan Ormond, Destin Bolin in the 12. Yep, Boyles pitting. So you got 2 of the young motorsports cars here in this pack, the 2 and the 12. Haven't learned enough to know when to let off the throttle. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's a bad thing. Just depends on the end result. Not gonna lie, Nick Gunther's actually run this Mazda template in an online series we have going on right now too, a Super Speedway series, the Snickers Super Speedway series, 3rd season that we've run the online series. The Mazda actually, it's grown on me. Whoever made this template did a great job. The Honda, I'm still kind of 50-50 on. Ended up making a Dodge template, an old Dodge template, like the old Dodge Intrepid RT on the generic template, same template that the Mazda's on, and it turned out pretty good too, so. I love the fact that, at least with this mod, you've got certain manufacturers you can put onto it that look somewhat realistic. There were certain series you couldn't do that, certain mods you couldn't do that. Gen 6 for one, BR15. Couldn't do anything on the Dodge. The Dodge looked like a Dodge. You couldn't put any generic on it. I think that the Toyotas, people tried changing that to something. I'm trying to remember what manufacturer it was. I think Mitsubishi. Even that really didn't work. The model ended up having the 3-dimensional on the front, where no matter what kind of a manufacturer you put on it, you ended up still seeing the Dodge lines with the Toyota lines. The Audis in the Gen 6 days of my series. Yeah, absolutely, Carlos. That was, oh, goodness. Who drove the Audis? I know that Anthony McCurry was one. I think Ralph Mason drove an Audi, if I recall correctly. It was Kyotech Racing. I don't remember if there was a third Audi or not. I remember the Mitsubishis, too. Justin and I, we're looking at Jess right now, Justin and I were actually talking about this about a week ago, about the Mitsubishi Lancers for Gonzalez Motorsports. It was Brandon Gonzalez, Joshua Collard, and Joshua Michaels, I believe. Got somebody blowing up here. That's Anthony McCurry. Fortnite Squad Racing Chevrolet up in smoke. He's got the Turkish Airlines sponsorship there. That's not the flight he took to the Netherlands yesterday, which is probably good, because maybe that's a bad sign. If he'd taken the Turkish Airlines plane, might have been smoking. doubt you're watching this, Anthony, but I hope you have a good time in the Netherlands and Holland. Yeah, the Lincolns did look good. I'm trying to remember which template they were on. Were they on the Ford? Is that what the Lincolns were put on? Pontiac G6. Yeah, I remember the Pontiac. The Pontiac actually did look pretty good too. There were just a few that you try and put a certain manufacturer on there and you couldn't unsee the previous manufacturer in the body lines. Yeah, Kyotech Racing. Andy Fox late model series Fry's sponsored cars. I think Ralph used to be in the 87 and Anthony was in the 61 if I recall correctly. Yeah, that's Reggie Fogelman. The LSU Chevrolet. It was on the Fusion? Okay, yeah, I thought the Lincoln was on the Fusion. I do remember that, that car. I don't think we have a Phil in the field this season, do we? No, we don't. Honestly, Keith, I don't remember what the new Taurus looked like. I don't remember that car. Fair enough. By the way, Carlos, how's your voice? I watched that call you had in that basketball game last night, and I lost count of how many voice cracks there were. I can only count to 4. I'm pretty sure it exceeded that. Doesn't look like anybody's going to topple Benjamin Miles for fastest lap, which, you know, in all honesty, I kind of like this too, and the fact that it's not anybody getting faster. Got a couple of drivers that have come to pit road. They've obviously been able to put on fresh tires and everything, but nobody's actually getting faster, which means that the tire wear is kicking in. The lap times are slowing down. Yeah, I'll bet it was. Could definitely tell you were into it. Second place right now for the rookie Jack Dunnard. I have tried to do a little bit of digging, trying to see if I can find like previous stats in other series, or you know, previous series that these drivers have run in. Because, you know, we can talk about Rick Johnson, Quentin Moore. They've had vast experience, just not necessarily in this series. And for drivers like Dunnard and Destin Boland and Reese Banks, these are not names that I'm familiar with. So I don't know if they've run in other series, what kind of performance they've had in those other series. Kind of cold turkey in terms of statistics or anything for these guys to give any prior history of what to expect out of them. But and again, they got the yellow stripe on the back for rookie, the rookie in name only for a number of these guys, because remember last year we ended up having a number of different rookies go to victory lane. Granted, there was more opportunity for rookies to go to victory lane because we had the 3 drivers per car, but even the season before, if I recall correctly, we ended up having a number of rookies go to victory lane. Bucky's Chevrolet, another of the rookies, Moore on pit road, Gunther on pit road. Former champ Carson Gum. Talk about the drivers up there at the top of the leaderboard. How about some of the drivers that are down towards the bottom? Anthony McCurry, that engine failure, we can kind of tell why he ended up having that problem. He is slowest on the board at a 31.186. Carson Gum, 38th on the board. Caleb Fogler, the other half of the defending champs coming into this season. He's currently down in the 37th spot. Yes, boo the Carsonist. Yeah, with you saying that, Carlos, it just made me realize we've run 5 seasons of Duracell Cup, and 2 of the championships have been won by Texans. I did not even stop to think about that until just now. About a minute and a half left here in testing. Again, our next one is going to be at Chatham. More than likely Chatham Night. Trying to see if we can put some more competitive road courses on the schedule for next season, which is still being compiled. Look at that 3 wide. Bottom and outside worked, middle car had to back out. Trying to remember again, I think I said this last time at the preseason testing at the Roval. Nashville Super Speedway was on the schedule this past season. I just don't recall exactly where it was. I think it was a couple of weeks after the All-Star break. But I have a feeling it's going to be... Nashville Super Speedway might actually, with what I'm seeing out of it right now, I'm almost thinking that this track might deserve a place in the playoffs. Maybe even an elimination race. Who knows? Who knows? Well, there's the car. Looks like it's going to be ending out preseason testing at the top of the board at Nashville Super Speedway. Benjamin Miles, the 25 out of Northeast Racing. Was with Northeast Racing from the beginning, stepped away into a managerial role, turned his ride over to Jacob Thibodeau, who was able to find victory lane a number of times. Came back as a driver last year, teaming with Tim Walsh and Danny Wells, the 15 car out of Legend Racing, and then made his return back to the driver's seat at Northeast Motorsports here in the familiar black and gold Hertz-sponsored Chevy Camaro. Looks like he is indeed going to be the driver that will be the fastest here at Nashville. Most laps turned today, 53 in total by Destin Bolin, who's 5th on the board. Most of the drivers here today running anywhere in the region of 45 to 50 laps. So a lot of opportunity for drivers to test and get an idea of just how to adjust their cars when it comes down to crunch time, with points on the line, a playoff position on the line, maybe a position to move into the next round of the playoffs. Depends on where this track is put on the schedule. But we'll take a look here real quick at the final testing results. Dollarton jumped up to 2nd on the board there in the 43. That happened late, I think. No, I guess not. No, I think he was actually up there. I was gonna say, I thought that no, that actually did happen late, because yeah, Dunnard was 2nd on the board, at least with about 10 minutes left. So nice pickup there by the 43. Really, the only one that's jumped up there late. Jack Dunnard, highest rookie in 3rd. Poteet in 4th, even despite the engine failure. Boland in 5th. Reese Banks, so 3 rookies up inside of the top 6. Matthews, Gunther, Moore, Dylan Young, the top 10. The thing that really stands out to me, you've got the 30.6 and the 30.7 there for Miles and Dollarton. But look at below them how close these lap times are. 30.8 flat to a 30.9 flat from 3rd down to 12th. I mean, if you take a look right there, from 3rd down to 28th, that's only about 0.19 second separation. I mean, that's super close. Super close. And even down here, these cars that finished down at the bottom of the running order, even they were still in the low 31s. For a couple of them, it might have been not really the opportunity for draft. But I don't know necessarily how much draft plays a factor into this particular racetrack. In the straightaways, for sure. I think there's a little bit of toe, a little bit of draft, but I don't think there's really a whole lot of opportunity for draft to help you on the straightaways. But again, this is preseason thunder. This is preseason testing. So for these drivers down here towards the bottom, opportunity to be able to work on their cars here still during the off season and maybe bring an entirely different setup to the track when we eventually are here on this when we're running the schedule. Again, don't know where this is going to be uh, on the schedule as far as its positioning, but from what I'm seeing right now, it's going to be in a pretty prominent position. But thank you, everybody, for tuning into this preseason testing session from Nashville Super Speedway. Again, our next one is going to be at Chatham. I am hoping that by time that takes place, get an opportunity to be able to test out the new intro and everything. Trying to continue to work on that and get the finishing touches put on it, but there's a lot of special effects that are going into this one, so it's taking some time. But hopefully you'll tune in for that. And again, as I said, if there's any tracks that you have not seen appear on the Duracell Cup Series schedule in the past 5 seasons that you would think deserves a chance of maybe having a spot on the season 6 schedule, let me know in the chat or in the comments. We may have a preseason testing session there to see if it does deserve a spot on this Duracell Cup Series schedule for season 6. But thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little preseason testing session from Nashville Super Speedway. We'll see you guys next time as we continue on getting one step closer to the new season of Duracell Cup Series competition. Until then, I've been Seth Cole. We'll see you guys next time.